Welcome to another Cool Story Bro. I'm Walt here with my co-host Krista.
Hi.
Hi. Cool Story Bro is what we like to do is we like to take a look at what goes on behind the scenes of the music business, get all kinds of different takes and stories and things about how this whole thing works. There are many cogs in the wheel of the music business, and we like to explore all of them. We will touch all of them. But today we get to hang out with the guys in the band Rivals. Guys, welcome. Good to see you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Kaylee, want to introduce everybody in the band?
Sure. Right here in this middle spot is our bass player Seb. He's not here. This is Josh.
Hi, Josh.
This is Mickett. He plays guitar, drums, and Seb plays bass.
Awesome. Well, guys, I guess first of all, congrats. You've got some new music on the way. Coming out May 5th. Man Eater is on the way. And I want to explain a little bit as to what goes into putting out a record release in 2023. What have you been working on to get this out?
Yeah, just like a lot of rushing, panicking,
a lot of flying.
Yeah, a lot of flying, a lot of internal, a
lot of sushi.
A lot of sushi.
That's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of band meetings, which is what we call when the band pays for everyone's meals.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, it's different because now we've been doing kind of the singles game for a little bit. So we've been pushing songs out like 8 to 12 weeks typically. So it's like a lot of like, go, go, go. We got to get things done. We got to get it written. We got to get mixed and mastered. Are we filming a video for this? We need art. We need merch. So it's like, there's just like bang, 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 bang of like trying to get things put together and in.
Any TikTok content?
Yeah, content in general, like lots of content. Yeah,
because that's actually how I discovered you, was on TikTok.
Yeah.
Dark Matter and Moonlit are probably my two favorite songs, and that's what I was seeing, just scrolling the algorithm, and then you guys pop up. And Dark Matter to me, when I started listening to it, so like your sound is described as dark pop rock, which I think is such an interesting combination, which I absolutely love. But it was very refreshing to hear a woman's vocal on a sound like that. What has that been like for you, being a woman in this sphere?
I don't know. I just vibe, you know, like it's so, I mean, it's hard because sometimes I'm like, there's obviously always going to be stuff. Like there's always going to be doubters and whatever. But I think that comes in the realm of a lot of people. But especially as a woman, sometimes you get pushed back or shut down in certain circumstances. But honestly, I just vibe. People either like it or they don't. And if they don't, whatever, man. There's 7 billion people on this dang planet. Someone's bound to like it.
That's so true. What a great outlook too. I watched this video today about they were trying to explain what butt rock was. And I'm like, what is butt rock? And why do we have to put bands in a box? Right. Then they had like, these are new metal bands. These are post grunge bands. It's like, can we stop at the labels? Right. And so if you're dark pop, rock, it's like
it's one of those things where I'm just like, honestly, if we just put every genre, like it kind of makes sense. I mean, we dabble in a little here and a little there, so it's like,
I guess the place that it really comes in handy though is like maybe when you have to put something on Spotify or Apple Music or whatnot, and you have to put like, well, what if people are searching a certain genre, like, you know, metal or whatever it is, you know, it's like maybe then it's important, but otherwise it's like enough with the labels, right?
Yeah, and then you have people like us who like, we're not like, I just put dark pop rock because I was like, I don't really know. And then now you have people who are like, we're like a banjo, folk, butt rock, you know, like, and they have like 90 titles, and it's like, well, you know, good for you, whatever.
Right. Yeah. But
shoegaze.
Love shoegaze.
I was gonna say, I saw it was like an indie that looked completely indie, but it was a metalcore band the other day, and I was like, interesting.
Good for you guys.
That's amazing. You don't remember what their name was?
No, not at all. I was confused because I was watching it. I was like, oh, it's gonna be indie. I was like, oh, nope, that's
nope, there's nothing indie about that. That's okay, cool. It's a black metal indie band. Cool. So how did you guys all start as a band? How'd you come together?
Oh my God, this is what 1892. I'm just kidding.
Good year. Good year.
Yeah. And no, Mickey was in a band prior. And back when I was a teenager, I used to shoot photography for bands. And so I went on tour with his old band when I was 17 years old. And I guess he had heard me sing. And then once his old band ended, he was like, "Hey, I want to not do metal." And I said, "Okay, well, let's do it." So then we started Rivals, and Josh came along. He's actually played with us a lot, like here on and off throughout the years. And then finally, what, 6 years ago? 6 years ago. We were just like, "Do you just want to join? Like, this is so silly."
That's not what happened. I thought I was going to get kicked out, and we were at a boba tea shop, and I was about to cry. And they're like, "No, here you go. You're in the band." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then there were tears of joy.
Yeah, my dog is deciding he wants to be part of the interview. And what is literally sit in my. He thinks he's a lap dog.
The moment between when it started was kind of storybook-ish, because it was like I had written a song and I was like, I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I had never really written anything that wasn't metal before, and so I sent it to her and I was like, "Hey, I don't even know what you would do. Just sing on it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'll just do something else." And I, like an hour later, she sent me something back, and I was like, "Yo, I think we just started a band."
And me, who's never been in a band, I was like, "All right, here we go."
Well, Kaylee, don't sell yourself short, because you have an amazing voice. And I think that that's one of the things where, you write a song and then you give it to somebody who's got this amazing instrument and they just let loose on it, and then the magic happens. And I hear that when I listen to your music. So that's pretty amazing.
Well, that's good.
All right. So some of the themes that you guys hit about so do you write the lyrics, Kaylee?
Yeah.
Some of the themes about mental health, and you seem to be kind of an advocate for taking care of yourself mentally, which I think is such an important message these days that gets swept under the carpet and people don't like to talk about it, but you're bringing it out. Why is that?
I mean, I have struggled with my own, not only mental health, but personal image for many years. I grew up as a chubby girl in the 2000s, and people were harsh back then. Everybody was model heroin chic thin, and I was not that. So I spent many years hating myself for not being like that. And, I just felt like a lot of the things tie into my growth as a human being, and realizing that, like, who I am is who I am. And that's, I have to accept that. And there's beauty in accepting who you are and loving who you are, regardless of any situation or scenario. And it took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
So, it's what I feel the most comfortable talking about in the grand scheme. Like, I don't really write love songs. I don't really, like, my thing is like, things are going to be okay.
But I think that's such an important message, because your audience, people can identify with that, because everybody goes through stuff in their life and they need somebody to tell them that it's going to be okay, or keep fighting, keep pushing, because there's light at the end of the tunnel. And it's actually an uplifting message at the end of the day, because you're trying to push people to move on and to make it through the tough stuff in life.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we kind of touch on this a little bit, as a woman in the music industry, what kind of challenges has that brought to getting the music out, touring?
I mean, I will never not feel like sometimes we're missed out on opportunities because I'm a woman. Like, and I've heard vibrato. Sorry, that's his drum shoe company. I just always mix them up. I've literally heard bands say, "My wife will not let us bring a girl on tour." Like, they won't at all. Like, or like they'll say, "We don't like touring with women." I've heard it straight from other musicians' mouths
that are currently touring right now.
Yeah.
Too.
So it's like, awesome. It's not that I think, it's I know.
Right.
I know that we have missed out on opportunities because I have a vagina.
And that's so tricky too, because it's like, I read, you did an interview with Caliber, and I read that you were saying that you've even had people tell you that they don't want too many women on the lineup. I'm a DJ and I can't tell you how often that has happened to me where I've been told, "Oh, I wish you had come to us sooner. We already have 2 women." And it's like, but when
Why
you
does that
have
matter?
30 men, it's
Yeah.
never a, do we have too many men on this lineup?
Yeah,
Should
I've
we
never
add
heard
5
that.
more?
We got,
I-
we
Yeah.
got 2 men in this bar. We gotta kick him out. I
We
don't know.
too many. Well, that does actually happen in the club
Yeah,
scene.
no, that's
Like,
real.
men pay $25, women free. And you're like, woo, it pays off to be a chick.
The one time.
But no, and you get it. It's like sometimes my dog. Sometimes you just it is unfortunate, but it's and sometimes a little challenge makes things fun. So
It's unbelievable that that you say somebody's wife wouldn't let you go because there's a woman in the band, because it's like that to me sounds like a bigger problem in their relationship and their issues
yes,
has
I have
nothing
said
to do
this.
with you. Just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Calling it like I see it.
I've been with my significant other for almost 7 years. I don't want your husband.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Right?
don't want him. But
Yeah. Grow up.
that's internal insecurity that once again is what I write about. It's overcoming things that honestly you got to grow past, and that would include that. So yeah.
Next time someone says that to you, just like mail them your album and say, "Honey,
Here.
I think you need this. I think we have some internal growth."
This
I
will
hope
help.
This helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
how you kind
Go
of
ahead.
mentioned it a little bit about how when you set up this recording of Maneater coming out on May 5th, you have to do TikTok content. How important is social media to your world in the music industry in 2023?
Literally everything. Like like I on a whim one day, like I was very against TikTok for a while. Okay, Roche buddy, I love you. Sorry. I for a while was like very against TikTok. I was like, I don't want to do it. I want nothing to do with it. I don't like it. And then one day I was like, and it was kind of came from like an internal musician struggle of like it felt shameful in a way. And one day I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. What's the worst that can happen? People
Right.
don't watch it. So, like,
Zero views.
So what? Their loss.
so, and then I started posting dark matter and it blew up and it literally changed our lives. And I'm so glad that I put my stupid insecurity of my shame aside and just was like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to do it and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question, it's everything.
Yeah. It's
Everything.
crazy. It's crazy. Because I was in the business making records in the 90s, and it's like it wasn't existing at that time, so it was totally it blows my mind how different the music industry is today. Because I mean, all right, that we could go on for an hour on what I'm about to say, but it's like back in the day, it was you record music and it was the product, it was worth everything. Now the music becomes the promotional tour to sell T-shirts and concert tickets.
Yeah.
It is like the whole thing is flipped on its head, and it's weird.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I think once a lot of bands started adapting or understanding lifestyle branding, which is like what you would see in like Adidas or Nike or like the successful bands, the ones that come to mind right now off the top of my head, like that were kind of doing it at first was like Deftones and Slipknot and Korn. Like you were seeing major bands, but they were doing T-shirts and socks and shoes and everything. And it's like now you got to do the content with that and everything. It's all kind of like this big package. That's
Yeah.
You have to be able to have enough time to do all of it just to release one song.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a you're pushing a boulder uphill to get all of that stuff and get it all together and to get people to pay attention now, because on TikTok there's like so many things, and not just TikTok, you've got Facebook and Instagram and everything else going on. It's so hard to get anybody's attention anymore.
It is. And then it's very short-lived.
Yeah, you're right.
When you do get it, it's short-lived. So it's like, that's why, I mean, ideally you post on your socials, preferably video content, because that's just what does the best. And you have to post something every single day. So it's like, it's in and of itself is an entire job doing content.
Right.
Like it's it's literally, people make entire incomes from filming content. And like, we're expected to not only make music videos, film content, go on tour. It's like, So it's like we're working as musicians, we are literally working 4 jobs trying to make everything work to a standard of like viability, like
Viability, yeah.
like being able to sustain and get to do this, do what we love. Yeah. So
What's your least favorite thing about the music business today?
music videos. I hate filming music videos.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate filming music videos. I don't know what it is. I just don't. I'm in the whole thing. Like I'm top to bottom. I'm in every single part of it. So I have 16-hour days every time we do them. I don't like doing them, but also to actually answer the real question, content. I don't like doing it. I don't love doing it. But I do it because I know that's unfortunately that's what it is. Oh, buddy, come on, buddy. He's like, I want to be a part of it, Mom. The content is 100%.
What's your favorite?
Touring.
Yeah. Playing the shows?
Honestly, I'm gonna say the drama.
Oh, you love
Like
the drama.
This not like the drama, but like the stress of it, like the nothing's gonna happen. What am I doing? Am I wasting my life? Something about that is what keeps me going, because it's like the willpower to keep going and the strive to know that I overcame those moments of like serious self-doubt and like almost like I'm done with this. I love that part.
That's awesome. That's cool. What about you guys?
It's either playing or writing. Those are my 2 favorites. The worst part is editing the content.
I'm with you.
When you're filming something, you're like, okay, this could be fucking cool, and then you like go back to editing it, and you're like, oh, this is gonna get trash.
I'm a social media manager. I can't tell you how often that has happened to me. Or you spend an hour editing something just to realize it's not turning out how you thought in your head. That's the absolute worst. Filming it is nothing. Editing it, murder me, bruv. Like it's just not what it is.
Yeah. I love the touring and I love the music videos actually, because both things are kind of a spectacle. There's a lot that goes into it. When it's happening, like when you see the finished project, you're like, oh my god, it's so big and magical, and it's got all these different parts to it. And my least favorite is content.
Isn't it funny? Yeah. Same with me. We have to do content as part of the radio station stuff, and it's just like, can I just talk about music some more? So I decided to do a podcast where I talk about music.
Yeah, at least you don't have to do your makeup.
That's true. That's true.
Little do you know,
like
every time an hour in makeup before this.
Yeah, you have to. It sucks. That part is like that's one of the things about being a woman in the industry is like I have to like look really good all the time, and that part I don't love. That part, it's like sometimes I just want to look like a bum.
Yeah.
Or do you ever have like where you're going? For me, it's events, because I feel like men can show up in like a black t-shirt and black jeans and a chain, and they look really cool and chic. But for me and you, it's like a whole like, okay, if my skirt is this long or that long, and then I need sleeves or I don't need sleeves and accessories. It's like this whole thing in your mind. Like you don't want to look to this or to that.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and I hate it. That's why I stay indoors. I don't leave.
Yeah,
same.
I
want to get dressed.
I like inside.
Yes, indoors. I also read online one of your big inspirations is The Used, which just made my little emo heart light up. Tell me about your love for The Used.
I love them. I literally, one of the reasons I started singing was Burt McCracken. So like I would try to imitate him as much as possible, which I think is where I kind of got my like he sings very strong almost.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to describe it, but and very quirky, and I loved it so much. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've cried to any of their music. And recently, we got an opportunity to meet their guitar player, which to me was like, he came out to one of our shows. I was like,
see, yeah.
So I had a little mini internal moment. And now he follows me, so now I definitely have a little turtle moment.
Wow.
So I know. I don't think I could beat Burt McCracken. I think I would just cry on him. So we're gonna save that for never. Never.
And that's it's one of those things that they say you never want to meet your idols because you will be disappointed. But I'll tell you what, Bert's a nice guy. So
I think he would be nice. I think I would just make a fool of myself.
what are 3 records that define you?
There's so many.
First ones that come to your
that's
mind.
That's a tough one. I have mine already.
In Love and Death, of course. And then I'm so bad at remembering the titles of the albums. Like I could tell you the artwork. Yeah, well, I do art for a living, so I'm like,
yeah,
that's what I pay attention to.
I got mine. No Doubt's Tragic Kingdom.
Really?
It's an Orange
It's
County
a great
classic.
one.
It's an Orange County classic.
it is an OC classic.
You got that.
Orange County classic.
I would say Marilyn Manson's Dope Show, or whatever that record was. Mechanical Animals. That's one of my favorite records from him. And then Slipknot's Iowa. Those are my top 3 records.
Wow. That kind of runs the gamut. That's good. That's good.
I'm an old guy, so.
God, why I can't remember. Oh my God. I have to look up the album name because I'm so bad at that.
I think I know mine.
Okay.
What was the name of the Korn CD with Freak on a Leash on?
Issues. Oh, was it Issues?
Anybody know?
No.
Korn's Freak on a Leash? Oh, no.
So
It was Freak on a Leash.
That's what it's called, right?
Is that the name
They
of the?
had Tom McFarlane art on it.
Yeah, with the little girl running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that CD got me into playing guitar for sure. I think the other one's Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath.
Right.
And then what was the CD with? They're Only Chasing Safety by Under Oath.
Artist in the Ambulance?
No.
No, that's Thrice. My bad.
No.
We're so bad at album titles. Can you tell?
Good album by Thrice though.
Yeah, what's the record? You're talking about the one with the.
I think it is called They're Only Chasing Safety.
Yeah. With the girl on the mask.
Yeah. That CD, especially at the time when it came out.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
My second one is gonna be Nothing But Thieves, Moral Panic. Oh my God, that's a more recent one. That album like literally changed my perspective as an artist when it came to like rock music. I don't listen to a lot of rock music anymore, which is kind of ironic considering what I write. But that album, it just re-sparked my love for rock music, and in turn dug me deeper into their older records. So and now they have a new one coming out, and I'm so excited. I would say my third record would probably be Melanie Martinez's Crybaby.
Oh.
I literally listened to that record probably 10 million times. I love that record. I still listen to it today. She just had a new record to come out, which is also wonderful.
What was it first?
Crybaby.
No, your first one.
Oh, I already said it. In Love and Death used. Yeah. But yeah. That was hard.
Good.
Why was that so hard?
You know what I think it is? I think it's because we're so used to now, like our age, we're used to the kind of TikTok algorithm of, oh, I see a song that I like. How often do people our age go out to like? I've never been to a record store to buy an album. Like,
yeah,
it's been a long time since I've bought a physical CD. I buy the songs.
Yeah, that's me too.
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
But I like to ask the question just because I think it makes you get a real sense of who you are as an artist, as you know, and how you get to where you are, especially when you put all those 9 albums together to create what is Rivals. I think that's pretty amazing. So it's
so weird. It's like the weirdest combination.
Plus, when you think about album stuff now, it's like back in the day, it's like, oh, the new whomever album came out and you bought the album.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that. I miss that the most. I miss, was it New Music Friday or whatever, going to Tower Records, saving up all your money from like working at Target at $6.50 an hour to just go buy 2 records that you played on repeat the whole weekend.
I've never done this.
Oh man, this was like.
But you guys are a lot older than me.
I'm with you. I'm in that camp, so I got you. I know exactly what you're saying, and I do miss it as well. So
And then you think about like when music comes out now, like no one's like, oh yeah, they just came out with this album. It's like, oh, this person made new music. Like, did you hear whatever song? You know,
Yeah,
like,
or it's like people like really, especially today, only listen to the singles. Like
Yeah.
if you go to people's stream numbers, it's always like millions on the singles, and then the rest of the record has like 200,000 each, and it's like
Right.
common.
So,
It's
all
like
right. So you're saying that you have been releasing a series of singles. Has that been a conscious decision because of things like this?
yeah, also I just wasn't really ready to write a record. Writing a record is a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of money. So it's more so just like I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
We have started though. We did start. So we're okay, Roshi, buddy. You're being crazy, my dude. We have like what, 8 songs written?
yeah, something like that.
Something like that. We're digging, but when we write 30 to 40. That's how
Okay.
we write.
Wow.
So
All right.
I know I like to make sure like everyone's a banger, you know, like I want people to listen through our record and be like, this song's good, this song's good, this song's good. Wait, this one's really good too. And it's like, yes, thank you.
It's like I remember when the 1975 launched themselves, they did a series of EPs. So it'd be like 3 songs based around a single, 3 songs based around a single, 3 songs based around a single. And then they started gathering like all of those singles and then a couple of the better B-sides. And then they added about 4 more. And there you have their first album, which therefore is loaded with hits.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, what a brilliant way, especially in this ADHD world where nobody has the attention span to listen to a full album anymore, and you're a new band. So if you put out these little chunks, people are easier to digest that, and then next thing you know, you've got a full album worth of hits that people love. I thought that was a pretty brilliant way to introduce yourself as a band.
Yeah, that's kind of how we're doing it. We're going to be dropping singles, but they'll collectively end up on a record together at next year. So it's kind of like we're picking out the ones we feel are the best for the moment, and then when we get closer to the end, it'll be all the singles that we released from Maneater on to the record.
I think that's smart. I love it.
Yeah.
So, which brings me to where we're at now. What's next for the rest of the year? So, Maneater comes out May 5th. You're hitting the road with Set It Off. What else is going on?
Yes, we hit the road with Set It Off, Scene Queen, and In Her Own Words on May 1st, which I'm stoked. We already have some sellout dates and really low ticket sales, so I'm hyped. We are filming a music video for Maneater on the 30th of May, 31st, something like that. And then writing. We are writing. That's kind of our main goal this year. We're looking at some fall tours, but since we're in writing mode, I'm not like, we need to tour. Like I'm trying to get a record right now. So I do want to tour more though. I like touring. Will
you play Maneater? I guess it's released, so why not, right? You'll play it on the Set It Off tour?
Oh yeah, we'll be playing it. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Awesome.
Such a high energy song.
Well, guys, I am so thrilled that you took some time to hang out with us. It's fun to learn about you guys and to expose your music to people listening to the podcast. Best of luck with Maneater and everything, and I can't wait to hear the rest of the music.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. It's the band Rivals, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Cool story, bro. Next time. See ya.